What up, fam? This is Burke, and here's my question. What do you hear, Yanny or Laurel?
Yanny. Yanny. Yanny.
So for me, at first, all I could hear was Yanny, Yanny, Yanny. But then all of a sudden, I'm like, wait, I think I hear Laurel. Then I started moving into Laurel, and then I couldn't get Laurel out of my head. And it took me time to focus and slowly begin to hear both simultaneously. I could hear Yanny and Laurel at the same time at will. And this is why I come to this truth right here. Yanny or Laurel is life. Let me explain. If you get an argument, okay, we're gonna figuratively speak as though Yanny is one perspective and Laurel is the other. When you get an argument, all you hear is Yanny, and you hear this person coming back at you saying Laurel, you're like, you are fundamentally wrong. You are so certain that you hear Yanny, while that person is so certain that they hear Laurel. You see, we have no shared truth to stand on, and so we argue and bicker because we're fundamentally perceiving two different things. Therefore, there's no hope because we're both certain, because we both think we have proof. We go to war for Yanny and Laurel. We get divorced for Yanny and Laurel. Our country is so polarized because of Yanny and Laurel. This is life. And whose fault is it? You know, I could say it's Yanny's, you could say it's Laurel's, but the truth is it's not any of our faults, it's our brains. We automatically perceive a certain thing, and once we perceive it to be true, it becomes the truth. We don't for a second question our mind's interpretation. We believe our interpretation to be absolute truth, and therefore stand on that fundamentally unsound foundation. So the question is, how do we fix it? Let's go back to my process of the first time that I heard it. When I first heard it, what I heard was Yanny, and I was certain it was Yanny, but then I tried to hear the Laurel, and slowly I began to pull out and hear the Laurel, and I understood why people heard Laurel. And then I was able to, at will, choose between the two. That is the power. That is what you need to do in order to make that type of evolution. You see, if the Yannys can't hear the Laurels, and the Laurels can't hear or won't hear the Yannys, then there is absolutely no hope for understanding, for peace, for the evolution of mankind. We'll be forever arguing and forever being right, but always living in a way that's wrong. What I hear is automatically interpreted, but when I listen, I'm trying to find an interpretation beyond my automatic reactive hearing. That is where power is at. So to you Yannys and you Laurels, I want you to challenge yourself to try to hear the other side. And do that in your life, and I promise you'll be a lot closer to peace. You know, a lot of times people fight about who's right, but they don't fight about what's right. Yanny and Laurel is life.